Hiya. Um, I have been seeing a quote everywhere and it has inspired me to do a reading for you. Um, it is a quote from Anais Nin, who said, "We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are." So coming at this from like a vibrational um stance. So it's saying like the lens that you are perceiving the world through is literally muddied by whatever state your energetic being is in, your emotional being is in. So I thought this would be quite fun maybe, healing to explore. So I'm going to break it down by astrological signs. So you're welcome to watch your sun, your moon, your rising, all of them. Whichever one feels more resonant, stick with that. If none of them resonate, then the message isn't for you, and that's fine. There may be another reading somewhere on YouTube for you, or one of my readings later on. Okay. Hi, Taurus. Okay, let's get your cards out. The first card is going to be exploring the lens that you are seeing the world through. Okay, interesting. Remember this is for your sun, moon, and rising, so pick and choose. So the lens you're seeing the world through. Okay, so you've got the King of Cups. This is the emotional realm. You're seeing the world through the lens of your emotions. Um, I think particularly with it being the King, which is the most mature sort of level of experience within the emotional realm. Um, It's actually, I'm seeing this as managing your emotions and being heavily concerned with how you present to the world in terms of, yeah, your ability to cope with your emotions. So you see here the king is holding this ship. It's like steady, but down here the seas are really choppy. And those are sharks by the looks of it. Or maybe just really big fish. Hold on. Yeah, I think they're just really big fish. I was thrown by the fin here, the dorsal fin, but it's not got shark eyes. It's got more of a fish shaped head. I don't know why I'm really going into like what the fish looks like, but let's go with it. Um, okay, so in terms of the way that you're viewing the world, I mean, maybe there's something in this shark fish thing. Like, do you need to be perceived as a shark in the world when you're really a fish? Are you presenting as something bigger and scarier? Like, is there a mask there that you're hiding your vulnerability as just a fish rather than being a shark? Um, my kids actually always say something about like sharks are massively misunderstood and they're not nearly as nasty as they're made out to be versus dolphins that we all believe are lovely, wonderful things, and actually they're a bit vicious and mean. So there could be something in that. Uh, like what you're presenting to the world. I'm not saying you're like vicious and mean, you're presenting there nothing um sorry. But yeah, something about that you are concerned about how people are perceiving you and you are seeing the world through that lens that you perhaps don't feel worthy or that you're if you did show up as just a fish that people would think lesser of you than if you present as the shark. Um, but even in all that ramble that I just gave, people's idea of a shark isn't necessarily the truth anyway. So it's like you could be showing up as something that's not you, and then other people could be perceiving you as that other thing, but actually what they're perceiving isn't what you wanted them to perceive from the mask that you're presenting. And there's just all this mismatch and misalignment and untruth that you are seeing through, they are seeing through. Because obviously, when we say we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. Equally, when other people observe you, they're not seeing you as you are. They're seeing you as they are. So, it almost doesn't matter what you try and present to the world because people aren't going to see that anyway, because they're going to perceive it through their own lens and their own traumas and their own baggage. Um, so yeah, I think there's something around not needing to maintain this facade of having it all together and keeping everything. You can show up in the messy middle. You can show up a little bit chaotic. You can show up in your humanity. I think, yeah, there's something in that. I think as well, like in this sort of AI era that we're in, people are craving that human element. Like people want to experience other people's emotion, or maybe not want to experience emotions, but like we don't, there's so much robotic, homogenized, like just everything's the same, everything's this and well presented, crisp, blah, blah, blah. And it's like actually we want things that are imperfect. We want to buy a handmade crockery set, that somebody's spent time and sweat tears creating to make perfect versus, your IKEA dinner set that everyone's got on Instagram. I don't know if anyone buys IKEA crockery. I think I've got some, but it's relevant. Um, yeah, there's something here as well, like these birds. Oh, the light's gonna destroy these birds in the background because they're behind the king there. It's kind of like again, you're not showing, so everyone else can't see the truth of what's going on. I think there's definitely, yeah. So we'll have a look. Where did this come from? Where did you get this lens from? My God, this is going to come up for everyone. So this was the same card that came up for Aries in this position. So the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, this is just what has been, see all these cogs that are clogged together. It's working together. It's just the construct of society that we live in now. It's the conditioning that we've all been given that you need to present this well put together, in control of everything. I'm keeping up with everyone. I'm capable, like polished facade that we have to present, and it's just kind of it's time for all this to be deconstructed. Like she's got a little clock here because the Wheel of Fortune sort of deals with this sort of divine time and that it's time for this to fall away. And also with it being the Wheel of Fortune, which is a 10, 2026 is a 10 year, 226 adds up to 10. Um, so yeah, it's time for this to be addressed. It's time to just say, actually, I don't need to hold my ship steady. I don't need to hide my emotions. If I am struggling to hold it all together, you're gonna know about that. I'm gonna, it's yeah, it's cleaning the lens. So we'll see if Spirit's got any advice for cleaning the lens. Okay, it's a big card. Okay, so you've got judgment. Okay, so this is from the Major Arcana, the same as the Wheel of Fortune. So when these cards come up in a tarot reading, it's kind of a nudge to get you back onto your soul path, what you are here to achieve, learn, grow through, experience in this human lifetime as your eternal soul. So you can grow and evolve and become sparkly and amazing. So, I mean, straight off the bat with this saying judgment, it's kind of we need to look at healing any kind of fear of judgment that you have, that, the fear of what would happen if people see these emotions. So this could be that, where we were saying this is learned behavior. This could be from past experiences, like childhood experiences where you perhaps did express your emotions and show your emotions, and it was shut down. You were told to pull yourself together, stiff upper lip if you're English. Um, Boys don't cry, all that nonsense. It's learned behavior that is untrue. Emotions are a huge aspect of the human experience. They're I think a lot of times it's kind of in the extremities of emotions, both high and low. That's the real human experience. That's kind of, if that's stripped away, life can feel very bland, I should think. I don't know how I got there. Um, so yeah, I don't think we should be fearing other people's perceptions of your emotions. This like judgment here, she's displayed in a lot of decks. This is called like the call or the awakening. So it is this is a moment for you, like the angels, your guides, God, spirit, universe, whatever you follow or lean towards is calling you at this moment. It's time. It's time to set down the walls, like put down the walls a little bit, let yourself be seen. It's like there's all these buildings, it's very structured, and then there's like this ethereal city up here, and then all the sparkles, and it's like, right, come on, hear the call. We don't need to be in this rigid structure. We can have a floaty, lovely time. Um, that's what we all want, really, isn't it? The floaty, lovely time. Okay, so we'll see what is actually the truth behind all of this. What do you need to know? The truth that Taurus needs to know. Oh, I like this. Okay, new directions. Again, I feel so much like, like when you blow a dandelion and make a wish. Okay, I'm not reading into the wish section yet, but just like you think of the density of the seed head of the dandelion before you blow it. It's like it's jam-packed, so many seeds held together tightly in this beautiful little fluffy ball. And then you blow it and it just goes everywhere. They literally go everywhere and it's messy and it's overflowing and it's floaty and light and it's so many things all at once, but it's not contained, it's not structured, it's not held steady. It's chaotic all over the place. And I think that's kind of what you need to allow a bit of chaos. Yeah, I like it. Like, so this is a little top hat. It almost feels like it's like his top hat has come off. And there's a little person here who's like waving a little flag, which to me would be like surrender. Just like, oh, we give up. Let's be free. Let's be chaotic. Let's float away a little bit. Hold on. Oh, that's not fun. Um, Yeah, and then if we read into the new directions, it's like, right, if you can allow yourself to drop the walls a little bit, to show your emotions, to allow them to flow and be more chaotic and more visible, ultimately, where do you want to go? Like this new direction, like what can life look like for you if it wasn't so controlled? Like if you weren't I think like there's a journaling exercise you can do where you take something to like the worst degree. So say your say your partner's never seen you cry about anything. It's like, well, what's the worst that could happen if they saw you cry? Like write it out. You don't any if you're not a journaler, just think it through, like to the very nth degree. Like, what is the worst that can happen if your partner saw you cry? And then, like, as you go through that, just be like, oh, that's not actually that bad. What if someone at work gave you one more responsibility and you were like, I can't do this, and cried? What's the worst that could happen? They're not going to fire you for crying. It just might shift things and put things into a new direction. Like, it will just shake up the status quo where everyone thinks that, if you're presenting as this shark, I can manage anything, I can do it all. And you're hiding the fact that you're a fish. And then if suddenly people see that you're a fish, they'll be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't be treating you like a shark. Maybe we can ease up a little bit because you are a fish. What's the worst that, only good can come of it. Only good can come of it. Particularly with these like major arcana cards. It's a nudge. You're being nudged to, yeah, to just reveal a slightly more vulnerable side of yourself and see if things change. Okay. So I hope this is helpful or inspiring in some way. See you soon.